Hi friends, I am Dr. V.V. Rao of Usha Clinic and founder of the websites umedicaldoubts.blogspot.in and drraghavamedicaldoubts.in. Through these videos, I am providing the basic knowledge about the commonly occurring diseases, treatment and surgery details when necessary for the medical knowledge to general people and for reference to medicals. Today I am going to discuss about the myocardial infarction. Myocardial infarction is defined as a prolonged severe pain feeling of weight, pressing of or cutting at the precordium, back, shoulder and arm, which is not relieved by rest or drugs. Blood pressure falls and won't recover to normal level. There is evidence of peripheral circulatory failure. Pericardial drop may be heard in following days. Usually associated with profuse sweating, pain upper stomach, breathlessness and sometimes vomiting. Diagnosis. Electrocardiogram. Electrocardiogram shows elevation of the ST segment, inversion of T wave. Q wave is broad, seen in the chestlets and limblets. The enzymes creatine phosphokinase CPK, aspartate aminotransferase GOT, acetate dehydrogenase LDH. CPK and GOT rise in 3 hours and fall to normal in 7 days. LDH rises later but remains elevated for 10 days or more. The pain may be absent or atypical, and in this case the presenting feature may be cerebrovascular disturbance as a result of fall in cardiac output, acute arrhythmia, heart block or acute heart failure. Differential diagnosis. It may be mistaken for acute pericarditis, pulmonary embolism, dissecting aneurysm or aorta, or acute diseases of GI tract, bile duct or pancreas. Pain may arise in the esophagus from hiatus hernia or peptic ulceration. It may also be from cervical spondylosis. Complications. Cardiac failure. Usually left heart failure occurs immediately, causing dyspnea and crepitations in the lungs. Occasionally severe pulmonary edema may develop. Shock. In major infarction, the patient may be pale, cold, sweating and confused. If this condition lasts for more than 30 minutes, the prognosis is bad. Arrhythmias. These are common in massive attacks and are usually the cause of death. Ventricular fibrillation is the commonest arrhythmia. Others are ventricular tachycardia. These may be preceded by frequent ventricular ectopic beats, indicating the need for cardiac care. Defects of conduction. Different degrees of heart block occurs. Complete heart block is of bad prognosis. Pulmonary or systemic embolism. Pulmonary embolism may follow thrombosis in right heart or peripheral veins. Systemic embolism may occur in the infarct extends to the endometrium. The left ventricle. Rupture of wall of ventricle or the papillary muscle or ventricular septum. Rupture of the wall of the heart may lead to sudden death. Rupture in papillary muscle and septum will lead to sudden onset of severe heart failure with loud systolic murmur. Treatment. Pain relief. Pain relief is achieved by morphine 10 to 15 milligrams. It can be given IV in severe cases and IM or subcutaneously in and repeated as required. To control the nausea of morphine, cyclizine or chlorpromazine dimorphine may be given. For less pain, pethidine 50 to 100 milligrams, methadone or dihydrocodeine tartrate parenterally or orally depends upon the pain. Relief of shock. Raising the foot end of the bed, oxygen, warmth and pain relief are the first things to do. Hydrocortisone 200 milligrams by IV, disoxin 1 milligram by IV and vasoconstrictors are usually given. Oxygen. Oxygen is a must if there is a pulmonary congestion, edema along with shock. Arrhythmias treatment. Multiple ventricular beats when superimposed on preceding T wave is treated with lignocaine. Ventricular fibrillation should be treated immediately by electrical counter shock. Other arrhythmias may be treated according to the time. Other complications like heart failure should be treated by digitalis with caution. Bradycardia treated with atropine and heart block with electrical pacing. Bed rest. If the patient is without complications, 4 days rest is sufficient, followed by sitting for an hour or two for few days and then gradually increasing the activity. A sani chair with wheels over an ordinary lavatory outside the ward is preferred than the bed lamp. In severe cases with more complications, more restricted to bed for longer periods in the hospital, then followed by rehabilitation. Anticoagulants. There is a general trend to reserve them for severe cases and to give them for a shorter period of time. Coronary unit. The aim of these units is to detect the arrhythmias to prevent a cardiac failure. They require specially trained staff and equipment to resuscitate fibrillation, peacemaking and can be undertaken immediately. The ECG of each patient is monitored on oscilloscope and activate an alarm if the heart rate is increasing or falls beyond the set levels. Prognosis. About 25% of the patients may die before they reach the doctor. After 48 hours, the mortality decreases. Following a recovery from an acute attack, 10% may die after a year, 30% in the 5 years, and 60% within 10 years. Mortality increases with age, habits like smoking, previous history of stroke, prolonged pain and arrhythmias. Long-term survival is likely if the patient accepts giving up smoking, reducing obesity and taking regular exercises. Prevention. The people who are prone to have coronary disease, say having risk factors, are advised to modify habits in the direction of healthy living as stop smoking and weight control. Abnormalities of hypertension, hyperlipidemia, diabetes are under control. Advice about regular exercise, diet control, emotional stress are of particular importance. Exercise. Every form of muscular contractions uses calories and regular exercise promotes loss of weight in the obese. However, the exercise tolerance improves only if physical activity sufficiently vigorous to cause tachycardia and dyspnea. This is beneficial even when carried out for only short periods. Patients who have made a good recovery from infarction improve further and safely if exercise is begun gently and gradually increased under medical supervision. Pain under dyspnea and fatigue must be avoided. Diet. Though not confirmed about the benefit, it seems reasonable to reduce lipid levels in the high-risk individuals. The intake of saturated fats should be reduced but may be substituted by polyunsaturated fats. This means a decrease in the consumption of visible fat, especially in the form of butcher's meat, dairy products, invisible fat in the form of foods as cakes, pastries, thick soups, sauce, mayonnaise and most cheese except the cottage variety. Eggs are rich in cholesterol, so should be minimized. Triglyceride levels is increased by obesity and by consumption of alcohol. The therapeutic implications are obvious. Fruits, vegetables and salads can be used in abundance. Stress reduction in emotional tension is important in coronary prone people, which is achieved if the doctor spends sufficient time and patience on giving appropriate advice besides the drugs. That's all about the myocardial infarction, and in the next video I will discuss about some other disease. Thank you.